Okay, so today I'm going to do a month in review where I just walk through my planning for the month and what kind of worked and what didn't work. So that's what we're going to do. I think I need to update my music of the month as Paradise. And I'm going to do purple this time. So my music of the month was definitely Safety Zone. I said Paradise. Wait. My music of the month is... It's so hard. Oh my God. Which one was it? It was... Okay, I'm going to do Paradise and Safety Zone. So that is my music of the month, and I'm just gonna come in and do a little highlight. Okay. All right, so music of the month is Paradise and Safety Zone. The comeback was announced for Hope on the Street Volume 1, so I'm waiting for that, and I have my comeback plans already filled out. So this is all in the annual section, and I think that's about all that I have going on in the annual section. I didn't do any challenges or anything like that, but I do need to come in and check off my discharge tracker. February is gone. Yay. 1 month closer. And so, yeah. So, these are the tasks that I finished for the month, the annual task. So, getting into the month of February, what we have is, let's start with the overview. What I had planned for February was to watch Bon Voyage 2 and make sure that I refreshed my playlist. My main goal was to listen to YouTube more consistently, or watch YouTube more consistently, and then just for wellness, I wanted to make sure I had a weekly unplugged day and to have my movie nights, which is basically just getting away from social media. I didn't really have a set budget for February because I started this planner in February, and it was just, I just didn't have time to really get all that together. So this is really the monthly overview. I don't really use these pages, to be honest with you. I like to have them decorated, and I reference them for dates and major events, but I don't like necessarily go back and fill these out. I do that in my weekly. Okay, so for the first week of February, I had a lot planned. And so if I take a look at what I actually had planned, I wanted to plan the content releases for WeStream. I needed to start working on my 2024 reset, which was already way late. Make sure I refreshed my playlist and checked all my platform accounts. That was kind of the goal for the first week. And then I just had some tasks listed for WeStream, a little wellness quote, and I was still heavily listening to Closer Than This. And my general wellness is just that I was feeling really overwhelmed already at the beginning of February. And yeah, there was a lot of stuff to do, specifically with our admin, being an admin for WeStream, because both admins pretty much took an extended break around the holidays, and we really needed to get back into it. And it was just a lot of work to do that. And I knew that going into February, so it was very overwhelming. So for this week, I started off needing to do some planning, which I did do. Updated some playlists, I did do that. And I started the 2024 reset, but I definitely did not finish it. And I did not get a chance to watch Bon Voyage. I was probably at the computer working on posts and videos like 10 hours per day outside of my normal job. So it just, watching Bon Voyage did not happen. I did get a chance to check my platforms and make some updates there. So then moving into the next week, this was really celebrating Jhope's birthday, and so that's what this layout is all about. Going into the week, I wanted to make sure that I posted videos, because by this time I had most of the videos filmed and they needed to be edited, and I really wanted to start posting before Jhope's birthday. And so that was kind of like the launch goal for both WeStream and just me sharing my planning with ARMY. And so that's kind of the date that I was working toward this week. And that's why the previous week was just 10 hours a day doing these videos. So I really need to post the videos, and I need to kind of finish the content plan, and the FAQs, that's something that's related to the streaming fan base WeStream. So I need to start the WeStream TikTok and create a content plan for TikTok and WeStream, which I did do during this week. And the main thing for me was just that for wellness, I was just feeling way too overwhelmed. And so I really needed to make sure that I organized and planned. And I did do that. I was still feeling overwhelmed, but that did help. And I was definitely listening to Jack in the Box a lot this week. And then just some notes here about working on getting TikTok and Insta launched and getting those videos prepped and posted. And so during the week, that's what all my tasks pretty much are about. I kind of started the week planning and doing my initial posts, which that did happen, making sure that I had the social media accounts set and ready to go for the fan base, and then doing the post. And I was continuing to work on Reset 2024. And let me just explain a little bit more about what that is. So for me, that is clearing off all of my devices and all of my folders on my desktop, all of the pictures on my phone, moving 2023 stuff into an archive, and having like a clean slate for 2024. Because we're going to get new content, there are new magazine spreads coming out, and I know that I'm going to be saving those pictures everywhere. And when I post about BTS or whatever I'm posting about, I like to use a photo. Well, I try to use a photo. Most times I don't. And that's generally because my phone is so convoluted with pictures I've randomly saved that I can't find the photos that I want to use. So doing a Reset 2024, I do it every year, allows me to kind of clean off that space, and I can easily find media that's released that I've saved to my devices. That's what that's all about. So the rest of it, like I said, was just kind of launching TikTok, and I was able to do that, and I'm excited about that because I was able to make some posts to really support Hobie during his birthday week, and some announcements that came about Hope on the Street. So the next week was the re-release of Love Yourself Tier, and so that's what this spread is all about. For me, I was still setting up TikTok, I was still setting up the Insta stuff, and I was still content planning. Again, the goal was really to have this completely ready to go by the time Jhope's birthday was here. And I probably had it like 90% there, but I still needed to do some WeStream stuff. And so it was a very busy week launching the TikTok videos and reels. And then Love Yourself was coming out. I was still actually listening to Jack in the Box for most of the week. And then when Tear was released toward the end of the week, I kind of transitioned to listening to a lot of songs from that album. And yeah, I just have a little quote here to kind of keep myself motivated, because this was, again, a very busy week. But after this week, everything was launched and I felt so much better. And so, yeah, and I have been unplugging every day, even though I didn't mention it in the prior weeks. And that's something that's really important to me, is to step away from social media. So I really try to do that at least one day per week. And then the last week of February is, I was just kind of celebrating love in all its forms and all of its expressions. And so Love is Love is the theme for this week to end the month of February. And I was so relieved during this week, because I actually had been able to fully launch TikTok and Insta. I had posts up. And so, yeah, now it's all about planning a consistent schedule for WeStream and making sure that the guides are posted, some tips and best practice suggestions are posted, and kind of working on what that schedule is going to be. So I also need to do new playlists, which I did. As you see, I'm still listening to Paradise as the week goes on. I did struggle with YouTube throughout the whole month. That was still a struggle for me. It's something that I'm trying to get back to pre-2022 levels, and so that's just going to be an ongoing process. But each day, I kind of had a task, and yeah, I just kind of went through all these tasks during the week, and I was actually able to accomplish most of these things. I'm still, as you see, working on Reset 2024 because, I mean, I was basically at my gig limit on my phone. I had so much media saved, so I'm going through that and trying to upload it to the cloud and all type of good stuff. But that's actually getting into March, so I don't really want to get into March. Yeah, but I kind of finished this week with looking at some Armypedia because honestly, there was a lot of stuff going on the timeline. There is a lot of stuff going on the timeline, and I kind of just am staying away from it as much as I can, but I'm not staying away from BTS, and I'm not staying away from positive ARMY who want to engage. But there are a lot of times when I'm finding myself just wanting to reconnect with BTS and their content, and that happened last week. And so I really just took some time. I think I made a post about, you know, watching some content that's important to you, or that's something you haven't seen in a while. And for me, that was Armypedia. So I kind of made sure to rewatch that the last week of February. So yeah, that wraps up February. And then I have a summary page for the month of February. And it's primarily all about Jhope. The decor is about Jhope, but it just kind of covers everything that went on for me during the month. And then on the opposite side of this page, I just have a little picture and a quote from Love Yourself. So for me, this entire month was about reconnecting with BTS's music. We revisited Love Yourself. I revisited Jack in the Box, which is one of the most amazing albums ever, in my opinion. Love Yourself, Tear, same. It's one of the most amazing albums I've ever heard, and I just really enjoyed reconnecting with the music. And to me, that's what February was all about. We also got notification that Hope on the Street is coming the end of March. I'm also super excited that I was able to launch TikTok for the fan base and, you know, start communicating with ARMY over there, and it's going well. I still need to work on consistency for the month of March, and I'm still working on improving my YouTube views. So consistency of post and improving my YouTube views for the month of March is what I'm working on. Temp check is kind of meh, you know, it's kind of whatever it is. And that honestly, that really has to do with a lot of stuff that's going on the timeline. And to be fair, I don't see a lot of it because I have cleaned my timeline like you would not believe. But I know that it's happening because we talk about it in GCs. People kind of repost stuff in GCs. So even if you don't see it on your timeline, someone's going to bring it up. And honestly, you can't bury your head in the sand. It's fine to keep your timeline curated, but it's not fine to just completely ignore when there are issues that are going on. And so I don't do that. You know, I'm not completely ignoring it. And even though I don't see it as much as maybe some other people do. So for me, it's just kind of meh being on the timeline, and that's just being real frank and upfront with you, you know. And I just think moving forward into the next month, one of my goals is figuring out a way to kind of turn that meh into a positive, and seeing if that's something that can work for me in March. And I have to figure out something to make that happen because, you know, we need to be positive for what we have going on. So I'll get off my soapbox about that. But overall, it was a super busy month. So yeah, that is the overview for February. Looking forward to March. Thanks so much for watching these videos, you guys. And I just really appreciate you guys taking the time, and I hope you have enjoyed seeing me plan through the month of February.